YouTube video, and I wanted to share my story since I want to be able to help other people who might be undergoing similar journeys, because I don't really see a lot of people talking about this. And as one of my sound healers have told me recently, is your struggle is your calling. So I think this is a really great time to just come on here and start this new series. So why now? It's always been interesting and fascinating to me that a lot of friends around me or people who just gotten to know me, that they feel like I have my life together. So the reality is I've been living double life for a lot of the years, I think up until like now. And not a lot of people know that. So to wind back a bit is I actually started my career in tech. I used to be an in-house marketer, and only around 3 years ago, I decided to start my own company. I did marketing consulting for B2B SaaS companies specifically, and then I also ventured into freelance copywriting, which I'm still doing to this date. And now, earlier this year, I stumbled upon marketing coaching as I found a coaching community, and I realized, a coaching friend told me that I can help those who might not be a bit that marketing or tech savvy, so I can use my corporate and tech and marketing skills to help them. But as all of this is unraveling in my world, and it's been a bit tough to share because the other side of my life that I've been dealing with for so long is I've been like a cycle breaker for my family. So healing generational trauma is a big undertaking, I would say. This is not to like denounce like all the other problems people are going through. I personally feel like in my life lessons here on earth, generational trauma healing is a big topic, and it's not something that gets resolved overnight. So for me, like personally, I've gone through therapy for around 12 years now, and it's been on and off. I only go when I really need a third party perspective on a lot of things. And I've also started the last couple of years, I guess I also think of building a business kind of like a journey inward. So I've been tapping more into spiritual side of things. So what that means is I've done things like I've gone to healers, I've done sound healing, recently I've tried channeling, I've done hypnosis. I'm very thankful the healers I met are all positive and clean energy kind of people. So what that usually means is like people who are like, oh, you only need to come this time, you don't need to keep coming back. Because I think a lot of times when people think about spiritual practices or healers, they're like, oh my gosh, they're out here to get my money. But thankfully, I've only met really nice and kind-hearted souls. So I felt comfortable like going to them and healing different parts of myself. Again, why now? It's September now, but in August, I think I've also entered a new era, a new chapter in my life. And I would say because August was like, if you're into astrology, it's Mercury retrograde. And also I'm going through my Saturn return period. So there's a lot of like cleaning up, ending of old karmic cycles or patterns, any things that no longer serve you needs to be released now. So for me, it was time to like really set boundaries and make some clean cuts to really live the life I want to live and not living for other people, which I've been doing for a very, very long time. Especially as a cycle breaker, usually what that means is you're breaking a family cycle, like dysfunctional family cycles, and it could be passed down generation to generation. So that's why it's usually linked to generational traumas. And for me, it's really tough, right? Because in our society, we all think like blood is thicker than water. So I've done all that I can, and I feel comfortable where I am now, where I am gonna do things for myself now. And that's that form of like, in the spiritual realm, they would say like, it's kind of like energy core cutting, or like cutting off if someone's keep on sucking your energy, that's not good either. So once you cut off that energy supply, people can usually feel that. It's also like when you set a boundary, people can feel that, and there's always going to be some sort of resistance. but for my sanity and for me to keep moving on with my business, because another big part is in the past month, I've really felt that I've been like start, stop with my own business. And that's not really a good place to be, because especially as a solopreneur, if you're the only one bringing in the income, if you're not doing anything, there's no income coming through. And so this is also why I want to share my story, because I felt like there's not a lot of people out there who might be cycle breakers for the family. It also could be, I feel like it could be like for romantic relationship, friendships, toxic work relationships, of all kinds. You can break different cycles. People don't really talk about that as they build their business, which I feel like then a lot of people think you can make, it's like a rose-colored lens, like as if we can make $1 million tomorrow. But that's not the reality. Like a lot of us have been behind the scenes going through a lot of different things, right? But what I found interesting through the last month, like there's definitely been a lot more clarity, a lot more energy coming back to me as I stood my ground, being more decisive. And I would say it's a combination of like going through therapy, like as people would say, it's more science-backed, and also more of the spiritual side of things. I do feel like I tend to lean towards more like holistic wellness, so that means a whole body experience, right? As we would say, like mind, body, and soul. And the interesting point for me was when I realized a lot of these people and healers have told me unanimously that I'm reaching a point, or I am at the point of a rebirth. So it's kind of like, if you think about it, it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So that actually kind of blew my mind when I hear it from so many different people, because the reason why I've been like a bit frustrated with the things that's been happening in the last month or so is just like, why now? Like, why is everything all of a sudden its peak and it's just like it's out of control? And I was just so frustrated and annoyed and overwhelmed with everything but then I realized I had to break the cycle, like at this point in time, because it also helps me to shape this 3-month program, like because the part of me is wanting to help these solopreneurs, coaches, and consultants with their marketing, tech, and business side of things. So my 3-month program was actually tentatively called the Rebirth. I thought, what better way to say that you're getting a clear lens of how you can operate your marketing and your business in a way that's natural and effortless to you, right? And so I felt like a rebirth means you are shedding all the old versions of you who are listening to gurus or experts or think you should do things a certain way, when in reality we all have the answers back in ourselves. Like even though I go to, let's say, spiritual healers or therapists or have mentors, like they can't live my life for me, and I have to live my life and bear the consequences, whether it's good or bad. So that's what I was wanting to do. And so for me to go through all of that, I think that's what's going to make this program that I'm going to launch in, or at least the first cohort is going to start in October, but I'm going to launch in the next week or so to get people to come into the program. But I just thought, sometimes things are meant to unravel the way they unravel, even maybe it's not in the ways that we think they should, or in the way that we are able to control it. And I think that's when we actually surrender, like, so as they say a lot, like you go with the flow and you actually surrender to the universe and see how things play out for you, because you never know what the door opens or what the next opportunity is going to be like. So I'm hoping through sharing more of my experiences here, I can help other people find the resources that they need to help them heal their traumas or their issues. And hopefully through even the 3-month program that I'm about to, I'm more excited because it feels like everything aligned. Like it makes sense that I'm building this thing. And I think that's what's so powerful for us creators and solopreneurs, because we're so passionate about certain things, and we basically took something from nothing. We made something out of nothing. And I think that's super impactful and is very beautiful. It's a very artistic way of expressing ourselves and helping others at the same time. So that's it for today. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. So until next time, I'm hoping to do maybe 2 videos a week for now. But yeah, stay tuned.